Here in Hawaii, the Danes are just company that races the currents are really strong. It's just kind of like the whole ocean's landing on your head.
Which you guys all know about and will see is a very exciting time and lots of change. And Danielle, who is a friend and colleague, works for the other party, which is the Republican Party.
Now, I know in France there are many different political parties, but in the United States we generally only have two major parties that compete for power. The way they are elected in the House and Senate is directly. They're not elected by their party, they're actually elected by the people.
A lot of the problems that America is dealing with right now are very similar to what France is dealing with. Principally the economy, jobs, unemployment, things like that. So I think even though our political parties have different views on the best way to fix these problems, we share the goal that we need to fix them, that we need to address unemployment and our debt crisis.
So please enjoy.
The city, and you see that point right there? That's the zero compass stone. So Pierre Longchamp would sit down every night to make the map of the streets of Washington, and he had all the grand boulevards. He was trying to simulate Paris. So west and east, all the streets radiate out numerically, and north and south alphabetically. And this is the zero of the streets and addresses in Washington.
Your questions really do help me out. Let me know what your interests are, what your needs are, and we can adjust the tour to meet those interests and those needs. myself, the history book I had in high school had but one chapter that covered all of this history. And that same book had 3 chapters on fashions during the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s.
You apply pressure, tell me crystalline, and you've got the faith that I could bring paradise. I'll forgive and forget before
my name is Billy Fatlights. I'm the manager of volunteer outreach and development at Greater DC Cares. I also talk really fast. I talk fast for an American is my role. So I oversee all the outreach and orientation of new volunteers and recruiting volunteers for our primary service program. So our calendar of 120 projects a month and the 3 big days of service that we do every year, and our community and our neighborhood-based volunteer program. I like about my job that it's fun, it's interesting. There's a lot of it's really good people that you end up meeting.
Taking steps in my direction. The summer sounds echo. Does it lessen your affection? No. You say I'm foolish for pushing this aside. Burn down our home. I wanna leave the light. Glassy as a mountain to the
statistics. The unemployment rate, the entire unemployment rate is approaching 36%. For every 10 youth in your age group, or a little older than you, 7 of them do not have a job. In the United States, there is no welfare for students. In other words, if you are unemployed, unless you're a woman with a child, you receive no payments from the government whatsoever. But there's not a place you could bring your family and sit down and have a meal. So our goal at Arch is to do that. We're working with a local person who lives in the neighborhood right up here to open the first sit-down restaurant. There has not been a sit-down restaurant since 1963.
If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make them all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every step I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every step I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making.
It looks like a Greek temple. That's because it was designed to look just like that. We even have right here the torches on the stairs. They're not used, but they're there just for authenticity to make it look real, like a temple. Lincoln is seated in the middle of it. On his right, on this side, is the Gettysburg Address. So if you're going on his left, on this side, is his second inaugural address. So it was designed by Henry Bacon. The outside was. Lincoln was carved by a man named Daniel Chester French.
To a baby in the cradle, he said, I am Salim Allah. He gave me the book and made me prophet and made me blessed wherever I go.
C'est normal qu'il kiffe pas les rebeux après.
eux, ils savent ce que c'est qu'une ambassade, mais ceux qui vivent en France ne le savent pas. Alors je vais essayer de vous le décrire d'abord très brièvement pour que vous compreniez ce que c'est qu'une ambassade. En ambassade bilatérale, c'est-à-dire auprès d'un autre pays, c'est la France. Et donc on a réorganisé l'ambassade pour essayer de simplifier justement ça. Alors vous allez avoir, moi je vous ai fait un petit tableau noir, hein, mais je vais essayer de... Vous avez un centre, donc on dit la chancellerie politique parce qu'on traite les affaires politiques. Deuxième dimension extérieure de ce que fait l'ambassade, c'est l'action commerciale. Nous avons un conseiller commercial et un conseiller et l'action commerciale et financière. Après, nous avons le pôle défense et sécurité, très important. Et puis, il y a un quatrième pôle qui est très important, qui est le pôle consulaire. Cette semaine, vous arrivez à l'aéroport, vous êtes de mauvaise humeur et vous faites une plaisanterie de mauvais goût. Vous dites « Oh, je suis pas content, je vais tout faire sauter ». Vous partez immédiatement en prison et on fixe votre... Parce que la police américaine a une absence de sens de l'humour là-dessus qui est assez extraordinaire. Et il vous colle 150 000 $, 100 000 € de caution. Vous ne pouvez pas sortir si vous ne versez pas 100 000 €.
But, so I came to Georgetown. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, just about 4 hours north of here. And I came to Georgetown mostly because it was in Washington, D.C. This is a great city, as you guys are seeing firsthand. This is where so much happens. I have a strong interest in government, so I thought it was sort of the best place to be.
Elisabeth, bonjour, le monde et bienvenue au département d'État.
At your opinion, what is the better military exterior politic in France, Chirac or Sarkozy?
I'm not sure that I can comment on that because I haven't really been focusing on French. I could go into French history, political and military history, but maybe now is not the best.
My name is William. I think France is a great country. I think they have their doubts about some of their views. This is why you're here.
Okay.
You don't think that the American people can think for themselves.
Okay. And what do you think about the President Obama?
Well, unfortunately, I know that Obama's a thief, and he's working for other thieves, American thieves.
We see your caps.
Yeah, it was raining. I had to put something on my head.
Now, with the Community Relations Service, we're going to tell you a little bit about the work we do and how we think we can help empower communities. And when I say communities, I mean everyone in the community. I mean people in school, I mean students, I mean teenagers, I mean the adults who are in city government, I mean police officers, I mean everyone to recognize a shared responsibility for their community.
Okay, the question is, do we have partnerships or alliance with heads of companies to eliminate discrimination? Yes and no. We try and work with the presidents of the companies and the chief executive officers, explain to them what the law is, but everyone in the United States, everyone, have the right to complain of discrimination, even if you are here illegally.
Mais à la différence de la France, aux États-Unis, il y a 50 États, et chaque État a son gouvernement et son droit à lui propre. Ça veut dire qu'il y a une loi de Californie, il y a une loi de Oregon, il y a une loi de New York. Et probablement 90 à 95% du droit aux États-Unis est le droit étatique. Pour comprendre qu'ici, ce n'est pas tout le droit des États-Unis. Eh bien, on est dans les tribunaux, il y a quelqu'un qui gagne et quelqu'un qui perd. L'avocat qui perd pense que le juge a fait une faute de droit. Il peut, en anglais on dit faire un appel, en français on dit il peut se poursuivre en cassation.